My name is Aron Cable, one of the founders of LNR Technologies. LNR Technologies is a industrial sales company that really focuses on bringing technology into the mining space and working very closely with customers to combine different technologies to provide overall solutions.
My name is Pamensky. I'm one of the founders of Industrial Matrix, and we provide turnkey solutions for predictive maintenance and asset management in the manufacturing and industrial sectors.
So we decided to form LNR, as I mentioned in my intro there, because we saw a gap in the market that was expressed to us by our clients where they were not able to get solutions to everything that they were looking for. We're talking largely to people at the mining end user level, the head office and the site level, and at the consultants. And so we saw an opportunity there to improve how this system worked and improve how all the teams work together, right from the manufacturing, the sales team, and the consulting and the end user. But we focus very much on the relationships we have on either side of us. We understand how critical those are and how the process gets a lot easier when there's a high level of trust and support throughout that process.
I think the ultimate goal here is for us to create an actionable system that's easily deployable and utilized, where we could create efficiencies in manufacturing, cost savings in failure reduction, loss in time. Those are high cost to manufacturing, and also to create. Here's the deal, right? Ear to the ground. We talk to, as you know, mirroring what Aaron just said. We talk to the people that use our system more than anything else, not top down, bottom up, right? So our goal is really to create a system that's. There's a lot of systems out there where we're seeing a huge disconnect from something that the top kind of wants in terms of big data, and the bottom can't use because it's not tailored for their jobs, for what they do. So our goal really is to create this system where it's easily deployable, utilized on the plant, at the plant level, or in the mine, right, specifically, where right out of the gate they're ready to go.
So the goals at LNR are a little different. They're not focused specifically on technology, more on society, where we see that it's such a busy world now that people are running left, right, and center and just trying to keep up, and people don't get to live the quality of lives that we think they should. Employers or managers, leaders aren't necessarily doing their jobs and supporting their teams, which don't allow people to flourish in what they do. So, you know, while we're in a heavy industry, a heavy technology industry, our whole goal is to bring that all together to form a system where everyone can live a better life, where people feel super happy to get out of the bed in the morning and get to work, and they feel like they're contributing and accomplishing something. Sustainable mining is incredibly important, and it's at the forefront of what we do as well. We're always looking, with my motor background, electric motor efficiency and system efficiency was always very critical. And of course, using energy wisely is a big component to sustainability. We all want the world to be a better place. Look, I live in a nice green area, lots of trees, lots of outdoor space, and we want to make sure that it's there for the future. We also see that there's a really strong social conscience now, because I think the world is so small and it's so interconnected that we've had more exposure to, hey, you know, what goes into getting the shoes that go on my feet or the materials that go into my car. And we kind of want to feel better about how that whole process works. Sustainable mining is key to that. And there's a lot of benefits to sustainable mining now with the technologies that are coming along, where it really is a win-win scenario, where doing the right thing is also costing less to make it happen. We have some technologies, for instance, where we're looking at converting diesel haul trucks to being running off diesel and natural gas. Natural gas costs the end user less to buy, and maintenance costs go down, and it's better for the environment. So it's a perfect example of where what we're doing can have an impact on that sustainability of the mining. We see that mining has such a global impact, and the effects of mining really are localized to where the mine is, and they also impact the worldwide. We've seen things like greenhouse gases really impacting the world for global warming. And we know that there's opportunities out there to do things a lot better, where we can maybe do carbon capture or something. We have clients that work on that. And so maybe we can't address the creation of carbon into the environment because of the existing technologies, but hey, we can take care of it down the road.
I think the technology addresses these concerns in a couple of ways, and in some indirect ways as well. I think most importantly, one of the things we focus on is efficiencies. Efficiencies, be that in production, efficiencies in asset utilization, and certainly efficiencies in the actual assets themselves. A motor that consumes higher electricity over time costs the environment a lot more. One of the things that we do is we identify which assets, which motors specifically, are inefficient, and we kind of present a business case or some kind of a case that makes sense to the plant, where they realize what the cost savings are, and B, obviously the environmental impact that it could have. Well, the largest consumer of electricity in the world is an electric motor, and being that that's the case, we want to figure out a way where those assets, those motors, consume less electricity. And there's been a huge drive and a huge push towards electric motors running more efficiently, be that premium efficient motors via NEMA standards, or even beyond that, super premium efficient motors, which consume a lot less electricity. And so through identifying older assets, older electric motors, older equipment in the facility, we're able to identify where those are, what they're doing, how much you have. And kind of to give you a good example of this is one of our customers. They have about 2,000 motors in their facility. 80% of those motors are inefficient. That means they're spending 80%, whatever that dollar value accounts to. That means they're spending a significant amount of money, higher than they could be, in the consumption of their electricity, just from that alone. Now, fusing together our predictive maintenance technology, we're actually predicting failures, seeing things that are running inefficiently, things that are starting to fail or starting to wear, and avoiding those things. Well, A, it'll cause operational efficiencies, and B, it'll avoid all those failures. So now you have trucks sitting around, the whole supply chain gets backed up, and all throughout that supply chain, when something stops in the facility during production, you see, you don't have trucks idling by, you don't have you don't consume or go through more and more equipment and stuff like that. That's where you start realizing this huge impact in creating, full asset utilization and predictive maintenance, and monitoring the condition of your assets. It has a huge trickle down effect across the board.
Mining traditionally, very much openly, will say, hey, we are slow adopters, we are late adopters of new technology. And it's very understandable, because the cost of making a bad decision in mining is huge. It'll end companies. That said, being slow adopters, I do see a desire in the mining community to do better. And again, it is a win-win situation. Often this new technology is more efficient for them. It costs them less. In the social impact that they have, again, being a very small world with social media everywhere, everyone needs to make sure that they're getting good press so that their companies are successful. Their stock prices go up, and people will support them. So there is a lot of pressure now that there didn't used to be, to becoming more sustainable, because of the visibility of the impact of mining on the environment.